Very good afternoon to all of you. Chalo. How are you guys? Okay, this is the lecture number 2. We have started valence bond theory. ठीक है? अक्षता लिए good. In the last lecture, we have very good Vikram, Grisha, Mihir. Okay. In the last lecture, we have seen introduction about valence bond theory. What is the need of valence bond theory? And some important consideration or some important point which is related to valence bond theory that we have seen. And lastly, we have seen the important topic or heart of the valence bond theory is assumptions of valence bond theory. Correct? Yes or no? आप लोगों को ये बैकग्राउंड दिख रहा है? This is our TYBSc hall. In that hall, our lecture आप लोगों के lectures मतलब this lecture hall is for TYBSc, and I used to take lecture in that hall only. So due to this COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot go there, so I am missing that TYBSc lecture hall. So I found this picture. This picture is taken during your fest. I think you all were in SYBSc that time. So जो कुछ भी वो picture है, तो to get a feel of our TYBSc class, I have kept this background here. ठीक है? बहुत मिस करें हम लोग TYBSc के हॉल को. Yes or no? Are you missing our college or no? बोलो जल्दी से. भाई आप लोग कॉलेज को मिस कर रहे हो नहीं कर रहे हो? I am really missing you people also. Hope this COVID-19 pandemic will get over soon and we'll meet physically also. Yes. So भाई दुनिया उम्मीद पे कायम है. हम लोग भी ऐसे ही उम्मीद रखते हैं कि ये जल्दी से जल्दी ये पेंडेमिक खत्म हो जाएगा और हम लोग फिर से अपने कन्वेंशनल टीचिंग करेंगे, कॉलेज में मिलेंगे, मस्ती करेंगे, है कि नहीं? यस और नो? So just shortly or quickly we will have a look over the assumptions of valence bond theory. Just हम लोग एक बार फिर से देखते हैं assumptions of valence bond theory. ठीक है? So the first assumptions of valence bond theory is metal should have vacant orbital. Metal should have vacant orbital or empty orbital equals to its coordination number. जो कुछ भी coordination है उस compound का of that metal in that compound, according to or equals to that coordination number, metal should have vacant orbital. This is the first assumptions. So this vacant orbital metal can use and forms a sigma bond with ligand orbital. This is the first assumptions. Then second assumption is related to ligand. Ligand must have at least one pair of electron for the donation to the metal, central metal atom, to form a sigma bond. So sigma bond will get formed by head-on overlapping. Sigma bond will get by head-on overlapping of the orbitals of metals and ligands. Empty orbital of metal and fully orbital of ligand. So head-on overlapping is there. Head-on overlapping of the metal orbital and ligand orbital will take place, and due to this head-on overlapping, that bond form is called as a sigma bond. So this is the third assumption. Fourth assumption is, in addition to this sigma bond, there is possibility of pi bond formation. There is possibility of pi bond formation in between what? In between filled metal orbital to the proper or vacant or suitable orbital of ligand orbital. So sidewise overlapping is there. So due to this sidewise overlapping, that bond is formed due to the sidewise overlapping of the orbital, and due to this sidewise overlapping, that bond is called as a pi bond. This is the fourth assumption. Then fifth assumption is the stronger bond will get formed only when the orbital will get overlaps to the maximum extent. That orbital will get overlapped to the maximum of extent, and when that maximum extent will be possible, when that metal orbital will undergo a process. That process is called as a hybridization process. Now after hybridization, what happens? After hybridization, all the metal orbital, they will have same energy, same symmetry, and so that energy same symmetry same, so they can overlap to the maximum extent. So hybridization, so the hybridization is essential. Then sixth assumption is those orbital or those metal electrons which do not take part in bonding and they occupies the inner d orbital. They occupies inner d orbital, and that electrons are called as a non-bonding electrons. This is the sixth assumption. There are some electrons which do not take part in bond formation or which do not take part in hybridization. That electron will occupy the inner d orbital, and that electron is called as a non-bonding electron of that particular metal atom. Okay, so this is the sixth assumption. Then seventh assumption is by knowing the number of unpaired electron present in the orbital of that metal atom, we can determine the magnetic moment, we can determine the geometry of that complex, we can determine the hybridization of that orbit of that metal. Okay, so we can comment on magnetic moment also. Magnetic moment means what? If the complex is paramagnetic, then the magnetic moment will have some value depending upon the how much number of unpaired electron is present in that. This is called as a paramagnetic. And if that complex do not have unpaired electrons, then it is called as a diamagnetic complexes. If the unpaired electron is zero, then that metal is called as or that complex is called as a diamagnetic complex. And diamagnetic complexes means these complexes do not have any value of magnetic moment, so that magnetic moment is zero. So if complex is diamagnetic, then the magnetic moment is zero. If the complex is paramagnetic, then that magnetic moment will have some definite value depending upon how many number of unpaired electrons present in that complex. Okay, so this we have seen in the last lecture. Yes or no? Have you understood this or no? Tell me. Then we will go to the next point, that is application of VBT to the coordination compounds. ये description box दिख रहा है ना नीचे, in that I have given, मैं आप लोगों को अक्सर जो कुछ भी पढ़ने वाला होता हूँ, जो कुछ भी पॉइंट है वो मैं आप लोगों को डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में देता हूँ. That is chapter number 2, valence bond theory, application of VBT to the coordination complex. So in today's lecture we will see, yes, many people are replying now, मानसी, कोमल, अंकुश, राही. ठीक है, गुड. चलो तो आप लोगों को समझ में आया. So in today's lecture we will see the application of VBT to the coordination compound. जो कुछ भी assumptions हम लोगों ने देखे, we will going to apply those assumptions to the coordination compounds, and we will try to explain the magnetic moment, hybridization, formation of that coordination compounds by using the assumptions of valence bond theory. ठीक है, so we will start today's lecture. We will start today's lecture. That is Pauling's valence bond theory lecture number 2. ठीक है, so we will start. So before going to actual start to the lecture, you have to remember some points. We will start today this application of valence bond theory application of VBT to the coordination compounds. And to while applying these assumptions or these VBT to the coordination compound, you have to remember some points. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज एटॉमिक नंबर ऑफ सेंट्रल मेटल एटम, ये आप लोगों को पता होना चाहिए. फिर से एक बार मैं आप लोगों को बोल रहा हूँ, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, atomic number of that central metal atom. Then you should be able to determine the oxidation state. Oxidation state आप लोगों को calculate करने आनी चाहिए. Then after the oxidation state, you will able to write the electronic configuration of central metal atom. After that, you should be able to write the electronic configuration, or especially valence shell electronic configuration, and that valence shell electronic configuration you have to represent in box diagram. बॉक्स डायग्राम आप लोगों को पता है, बॉक्स निकालने होते हैं, दैट वी विल सी. ठीक है, सो दिस इज थर्ड पॉइंट. यू शुड बी एबल टू राइट द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन और वैलेंस शेल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ऑफ द सेंट्रल मेटल एटम. एंड इफ यू फिनिश विद दिस 3 पॉइंट्स, देन वी विल स्टार्ट अप्लाइंग अजम्पशंस ऑफ वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी. सो आपको ये अजम्पशंस है वैलेंस बॉन्ड थ्योरी के, ये आप लोगों को ध्यान में होने चाहिए. ठीक है, so these 4 points are there. Which 4 points? Atomic number of central metal atom, oxidation state, electronic configuration and box diagram, then application of assumptions of valence bond theory. So we will start the application of VBT to the coordination compounds, and first we will start with the tetrahedral complexes, which is very simple. You all are very familiar with tetrahedral complexes. Okay, so the shape of tetrahedral complexes I have shown in this corner. You can see here, this is the tetrahedral geometry or tetrahedral shape. Central metal is there, and here 4 ligands are there. The white color indicates the ligand, and this purple color indicates the metal. So we will start with one example first. NiCl4 this is our first example. ठीक है, NiCl4 here Ni is central metal atom, Cl is ligands, and charge on the complex is 2+, and the IUPAC name of this compound is tetraamine. Amine is not there, tetrachloro. Here chloro should be there, tetrachloro nickel 2+ ion. 2+ is oxidation state. ठीक है, so we'll start with first this. So first we will write the nickel. This is the first thing you have to write, its atomic number. Atomic number of nickel is 2+. Then क्या करना है आप लोगों को? Then write the electronic configuration. So I will write here electronic configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8. कितने? 10, 20 और 28. ठीक है, so 4s2, 3d8. This is called as a valence shell electronic configuration. This is called as valence shell electronic configuration. Now here oxidation state of nickel is +2. I have shown here oxidation state of nickel is +2. So write down the electronic configuration of nickel in +2. ठीक है, or you can tell me the valence shell electronic configuration of nickel 2+ ion. Tell me the valence shell electronic configuration of nickel 2+ ion. Here 4s and 3d. Tell me क्या है, बोलो जल्दी से. 4s, 3d. निकेल 2+ का वैलेंस शेल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन आप लोगों को मुझे बोलना है. बोलो जल्दी. Grisha, I am talking about nickel 2+ ion. 4s2, 3d8. It is निकेल इन 0 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट. सुप्रिया कुमारी ने बोल दिया, कृष्ण प्रिया ने लिखा है 4s0, 3d8. सुप्रिया ने भी लिखा है 4s0, मानसी ने भी लिखा है. सो द here 2+ charge means the 2 electrons are removed. 2+ charge means 2 electrons are removed, and these 2 electrons are removed in 4s orbital and not from 3d orbital. Please remember this. So 2 electrons are removed from this 4s orbital and not 3d. So valence shell electronic configuration is 4s 0 3d 8. Then draw the box diagram. Here I will draw the box diagram. 1 2 3 4 3d 8 4s 0 and here I will write 4p. Three D 8 electrons we have to fill in this orbital. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. So this is the second step. Then we will apply the assumptions of valence bond theory. So what is the first assumptions of valence bond theory? First assumption is metal should have vacant orbital equal to its coordination number. Now in this complex coordination number of nickel is how much? In this complex coordination number of nickel is how much? Tell me coordination number of NiCl4 minus. Coordination number is yes 4. Coordination number 4. So metal should have at least 4 vacant orbital. है क्या देख लो 1 4s है और 3p है. So 4 vacant orbital is available. ठीक है. Then the second assumption is ligand should have at least one pair for the donation. So how many ligands are there? How many chloride ions are there? 4 chlorides are there, and each chloride will donate 2 electron. So 4 into 8 electrons. Now these 8 electrons we have to fill in the 4 vacant orbital. So here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So total 8 electrons we have filled. So these are the electrons which is donated. These are the electrons from Cl minus. Or this green color I have shown these electrons that is donated from the ligand, that is Cl minus. Now this 4s orbital, 1 4s orbital and 3p orbital, they undergo a process. The assumption number 4. These 4 orbital 1s and 3p orbital, they undergo a process called as a hybridization. And how many 1s orbital is there and 3p orbital? So 3p sp3 hybridization is there. That means sp3 hybridization is there. Okay. Now the next point is number of unpaired electrons. How many number of unpaired electrons are there? Here 1 and this one is 2. 2 unpaired electrons. That means this complex is paramagnetic. This complex is paramagnetic. Correct. So now we will see the magnetic moment. Of this complex. Now here the experimental magnetic moment of this complex is 2.83 bm, and calculated magnetic moment or theoretical magnetic moment that we will calculate now. Okay. So to calculate the magnetic moment, one formula is there. This formula is there, and this formula is called as a spin only formula. Now what is this formula? mu s is magnetic moment. Mu means it is magnetic moment, it is symbol of magnetic moment, and this s indicates the spin only formula. This s indicate the spin only formula. So this magnetic moment arises due to the two factors. First is spin of electrons, and then the orbital angular moment. It occurs, magnetic moment occurs due to the two reasons. First reason is spin of the electrons, and second is orbital angular moment. Now these d orbital, they shows magnetic moment only due to the spin of electrons and not due to the orbital angular moment. Whatever the a block element, they shows the magnetic moment due to the spin of electrons plus the orbital angular momentum. So to calculate magnetic moment of f orbital, there is different formula, another formula is there, but this is very simple formula. This formula is also called as a spin only formula, means only spin is involved to get a magnetic moment. That's why it is called as a spin only formula, and this spin only formula, it is generally applicable to the d block elements. Please remember this. Now this formula is mu s is equal to under root n into n plus 2. Mu s is equal to under root n into n plus 2 bm. Now here n is what? In this case, n is equal to number of unpaired electron. This n is equal to number of unpaired electron. Now in last case, जो हमने last में देखा था ना, in this case, how many number of unpaired electrons are there? 2 unpaired electrons are there, 1 and 2. Now put the value of n is equal to 2 here. Put the value of n is equal to 2. 2 into 2 plus 2. Calculate this value and tell me what is the magnetic moment. Under root n is equal to 2 here, so 2 into 2 plus 2. If you have calci, you can calculate it. Yes, Grisha ने निकाल दिया है, it is 2.82. It is 2.82 bm. Correct. Good. It is 2.82 bm. And if you see, experimental magnetic moment is 2.83. Experimental magnetic moment is 2.83. Calculated magnetic moment is how much? हम लोगों ने निकाल दिया, it is 2.82 bm. So these two values, they are nearly same. Calculated magnetic moment and experimental magnetic moment, these two values are nearly same, 2.82 and 2.83. that means they are nearly same. So we can say that whatever we have applied here, that is correct according to the valence bond theory. And due to this complex shows, that is NiCl4 shows sp3 hybridization. Due to this matching of magnetic moment value, we can say that the observed and actual geometry of this complex is tetrahedral, and hybridization of this complex is sp3. Okay. Now this calculated magnetic moment, you have now calculated it is by using that spin only formula, that is under root 2 n into n plus 2. Now this experimental magnetic moment means by using an experiment. In last year we have studied that how to calculate magnetic moment by using an experiment. One experiment is there, or one method is there, that is called as a Guise method, that we have seen. Guise method to calculate the magnetic moment. That in that method, one balance is used. In that method, one balance is used, and one pan of that balance is attached to the what we can say holder, sample holder, and that sample holder is kept in a magnetic field, external magnetic field of applied magnetic field. Now what happens if the complex is paramagnetic? Now, if the complex is paramagnetic, that means that complex holder will get attracted toward the applied magnetic field, and that compound will show higher weight because of attraction of paramagnetic compound in the applied or external magnetic field. So, in an external magnetic field, paramagnetic compound weight more, and if that compound is diamagnetic, suppose that compound is diamagnetic and we have placed that compound in that sample holder and we have applied an external magnetic field. Now what happens, diamagnetic is there, diamagnetic complexes are get repelled by magnetic field, okay, applied magnetic field, so that will get repelled. That means these diamagnetic complexes, they will weigh less in the external magnetic field or in the applied magnetic field, that we have seen while discussing the D block metals in the last year, that is in SYBSC. So calculation or theoretical magnetic moment we can calculate by using spin only formula, and experimental magnetic moment we can calculate that experimental magnetic moment by doing the Guise experiment. Okay, okay, so this is the spin only formula. Then we will go to the, हाँ चलो एक बार फिर से देख लेते हैं हम लोगों ने किया है और सही किया है, करेक्ट हियर 4s2 3d8, this is the valence shell electronic configuration. Then nickel 2 plus will show 4s0 3d8. Now here 3d8 4s0 4p, 8 electrons are there, correct, that means this is also correct. Now here 1s and 3p orbitals are vacant, that is equals to its coordination number. Coordination number of this NiCl4 complex is 4, so 4 vacant orbitals are there. Now these 8 electrons, these electrons are donated by the ligands, and these compounds or these 3 orbitals, 3p and 1s orbital, will undergo process called as a hybridization, and it shows its sp3 hybridization. And this red color, they are electrons from ligand, these are the electrons from ligands, okay. Then 2 unpaired electrons are there, correct, 2 unpaired electrons, so complex is paramagnetic. If unpaired electron is there, then the complex is paramagnetic. If no unpaired electron, then the complex is diamagnetic. Now experimental magnetic moment is this one, 2.93, it's around 93, 2.90, ठीक है, 83 or 90. Then theoretical magnetic moment we have calculated 2.83, that means these values are similar, that means we can say the observed and actual geometry of this complex is tetrahedral, ठीक है, okay. Then we will go to the next example number 2, MnCl4 2 minus. अरे यार ये गलत हो गया, ये इधर उधर होना चाहिए, this is not the name, ठीक है, this is not IPAC nomenclature, ठीक है, forget about this, okay, चलो. So this complex is there, which is example number 2, MnCl4. So IPAC nomenclature is tetrachloro magnet, two plus ion, ठीक है. Now you people solve this example and tell me the number of unpaired electrons. आप लोगों को ये सॉल्व करना है, एंड अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कितने हैं मुझे बोलना है. So you please take pen and notebook and solve this example and tell me the number of unpaired present in this compound. Okay, ठीक है, चलो. जल्दी से बोलो मुझे. Number of unpaired electrons. Solve this. Take a pen and notebook. Krisha ने बोला है 5 unpaired electrons. Krishna Priya is also saying 5 unpaired electrons. Okay. And hybridization. What about hybridization? आप लोगों ने कैलकुलेट किया है, सिर्फ आप लोगों को पता चला यार 5 अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, तो जस्ट बॉक्स डायग्राम ड्रॉ करके देखे होंगे आप लोगों ने, ठीक है. व्हाट अबाउट द हाइब्रिडाइजेशन? sp3 हाइब्रिडाइजेशन, वेरी गुड. 5 unpaired electrons means the complex is paramagnetic. 5 unpaired means the complex is paramagnetic. And put this value n is equal to 5 in spin only formula, that is under root n into n plus 2. Put the value of 5 over there and calculate the magnetic moment. Tell me the magnetic moment now. Mansi, Grisha, Rahi, all are saying sp3. Okay, good, no problem. Now calculate magnetic moment. Now you would know how many number of unpaired electrons are there. 5 unpaired electrons. That means complex is paramagnetic, and the magnetic moment of this complex is 5.9. ठीक, चलो ग्रेट, ग्रीशा ने बोल दिया सबसे पहले. Now let us see those who haven't solved this problem. For those, you may say here MnCl4 minus. Ml, atomic number of this manganese is 25. Atomic number of manganese is 25. This is the electronic configuration: 1s2, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2 here, and 3d5 will be here. So total how much? 4 plus 6 10 plus 6 24. Total is 24. Now the oxidation state of metal is 2 plus. So 2 electrons will be removed from 4s orbital. ठीक है, तो जो दो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है वो 4s से जाने वाले हैं. सो 4s0 3d5, 4s0 3d5. So this is the valence electronic configuration of Mn2 plus. Then draw the box diagram. 3d5 electrons, 4s0 and 4p0. Now fill the 5 electrons in these 5d orbitals. ठीक है. Then the coordination number of this complex is 4. Cn is 4. So according to the assumptions of valence band theory, metal should have at least 4 vacant orbital. है क्या? है 1s and 3p orbitals are vacant. Now you can fill the electrons. So 4 है, 4 into 2 electrons. So total 8 electrons we have to fill. ठीक है, because of 4 ligands are there, 4 chloride ligands are there, and each ligand donates 2 electrons for the bond formation. Now fill the 8 electrons. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. Correct. ठीक है. Now these 4 orbitals, they undergo a process called as a hybridization, and they will show a sp3 hybridization. They will show sp3 hybridization, 1s and 3p orbital. ठीक है. Then 5 unpaired electrons are present. है क्या? देख लो 1 2 3 4 and 5. 5 unpaired electrons, that means complex is paramagnetic, and the experimental magnetic moment of this compound is 5.95. Experimental magnetic moment is 5.95, and calculated magnetic moment is 5.93 bm. So these values are close to each other. So the observed geometry of this complex and actual geometry of this complex is tetrahedral. Okay, so these are the tetrahedral complexes. Then we will see the second topic, or second point, or second type of geometry, that is square planar complexes. That is square planar complexes. Now for example this NiCN4 2 minus. Now for example this NiCN4 2 minus. ठीक है, तो इसका हम लोग देख लेते हैं. NiCN4 2 माइनस क्या है यहाँ पे? NiCN4. नाउ निकेल, एटॉमिक नंबर ऑफ निकेल इज 28. राइट डाउन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8. It is in zero oxidation state. In nickel 2 plus, what happens? In nickel 2 plus, 2 electrons will go from 4s orbital. In nickel 2 plus, 2 electrons will go from 4s orbital, and 3d8 is there. ठीक है. Now how many vacant orbital there? 1 2 3 4. What is the coordination number? Coordination number is also 4. Coordination number is also 4. That means assumptions assumption number 3 or 4 is 3. Assumption number 3 is satisfied. It has 4 vacant orbital. Okay. Now in this case what happens? Please see here, ligand is cyanide. In this case ligand is cyanide ligand. कौन सा ligand है? cyanide ligand से. ठीक है. Now ये पहले इलेक्ट्रॉन्स भर दो 3d8 4h 0 4p 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स फिल किए 2 4 6 7 8. ठीक है. Now 2 unpaired electrons are there and 4 vacant orbitals are there, but the cyanide is strong ligand. Cyanide is strong ligand now. ठीक है. और हम लोगों ने देखा है strong ligand क्या करता है, मैंने पहले लेक्चर में बोला है strong ligand क्या करता है, बोलो जल्दी से. मैंने बोला है आप लोगों को strong ligand. What happens if strong ligand is there in the compound? Then the strong pairing of electrons. Correct. मैंने बोला था क्या होता है, pairing of electrons. So these electrons from these orbitals will get paired to this orbital like this. Here I have shown. So pairing of electrons will take place. Now how many orbitals are there? This orbital will get vacant. This orbital will get vacant. ठीक है. तो what happens? आप लोगों के पास 4 ligands से 4 into 2 8 electrons आप लोगों को fill करने हैं. So you will start from filling this orbital. First electron here, second here, third here, 4 here, then 5 6 7 8. So these orbitals now, these orbitals will undergo a process called as hybridization. Which orbitals? 1d orbital is there, 1 s orbital is there, and 2p orbitals are there. So hybridization will be dsp2. Hybridization will be dsp2. ठीक है. 1d orbital 1p and 1d orbital 1 s orbital and 2p orbital. So hybridization will be dsp2. Hybridization will be dsp2. Now what about the number of unpaired electrons? See here, there are no unpaired electrons. 0 unpaired electrons is present. कितने unpaired electrons? Total number of unpaired electrons 0. Now if the unpaired electron is 0, that means what? ठीक है, ग्रीशा ने करेक्ट बोला है. प्राची इज ऑल्सो सेइंग causes pairing of electrons. कृष्ण प्रिया इज ऑल्सो सेइंग pairing of electrons in d orbital will take place. So हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे pairing of electrons कर दिए. ठीक है. So pairing of electrons will take place. ठीक है. Then here due to that pairing of electrons, number of unpaired electrons is 0. 0 unpaired electrons means complex is diamagnetic. Correct. 0 unpaired electrons means complex is diamagnetic, and the experimental and calculated magnetic moment of this complex will be 0. If the complex is diamagnetic, then the experimental and theoretical magnetic moment of that particular metal is 0. So here no unpaired electrons, diamagnetic complex, experimental and theoretic magnetic moment is also 0. ठीक है. Understood? Yes or no? समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? बोलो जल्दी. Yes or no? dsp2 hybridization, square planar complexes. यस सर. जय, मानसी, कृष्ण प्रिया, प्रीतम, कदम, सब लोगों ने यस सर बोल दिया. ठीक है. ओके. सो NiCN42 माइनस, प्लीज इफ यू आर applying this VBT to the coordination compound, please see the nature of ligand. If the nature of ligand is strong ligand, then that strong ligand due to this strong ligand pairing of electrons will take place. ये आप लोगों को पता होना चाहिए. In first case जो हम लोगों ने टेट्राहेड्रल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस के बारे में देखा था, वहाँ पे chloride is ligand was there and ammonia ligand was there, and both the both these ligands, they are weak ligand, so in that case pairing was not there. Okay, but in this case cyanide, it is a strong ligand, and if cyanide is there, carbonyl is there, nitrosyl is there, that is then the pairing of electrons will take place in the d orbitals. And now these 8 electrons, 2 4 6 8, these 8 electrons, they are called as a non-bonding electrons. These 8 electrons, they are called as a non-bonding electrons because they do not take part in the hybridization. They do not take part in the process of bond formation. Okay, they do not take part in sigma bond formation or coordinate bond formation. That's why these 8 electrons, they occupies the inner d orbital. जो कुछ भी अंदर के d orbital से उसमें वो चले जाते हैं. And these orbitals or these electrons, they are called as a non-bonding metal electrons. These 8 electrons, they are called as a non-bonding metal electron. ठीक है, okay, चलो. Now we will see this example. CuNH342 plus. ठीक है. Now you have to solve this example, which is copper complex. Blue complex is this. इसका कलर कौन सा होता है? ब्लू कलर होता है. एंड यू हैव टू टेल मी द नंबर ऑफ अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, वेदर द कॉम्प्लेक्स इज पैरामैग्नेटिक और डायमैग्नेटिक. ठीक है, ओके, चलो. सो जल्दी से ये कैलकुलेट करो और मुझे बोलो. हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर प्रेजेंट, और comment on magnetic property of this copper complex. Prachi Garade is saying 1 unpaired electron. प्राची कैलकुलेट केलंस का तो? यस और नो प्राची? ये जितना दिख रहा है ना ये कॉम्प्लेक्स, इतना सिंपल नहीं है प्राची. कैलकुलेट केलस का प्राची पैरामैग्नेटिक. आंसर तो सही है तुम्हारा. नंबर ऑफ अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन इज 1, कॉम्प्लेक्स इज पैरामैग्नेटिक. वेरी गुड. बट हैव यू कैलकुलेटेड इट? हैव यू ड्रॉन द बॉक्स डायग्राम? हो सर. ठीक आहे. सो प्राची मग काय करायचं असतो, त्याचा फोटो काढायचा आणि तो फोटो क्लासरूमवरती पोस्ट करायचा आहे. Krishnapriya sir, shouldn't the charge on the complex is +2? Yes, correct. Charge on the complex is +2. I am extremely sorry, because ammonia is neutral ligand. Because of what? Because of ammonia is a neutral ligand and charge on the complex is +2, not -2. Sorry, extremely sorry. Yes, correct. Copper 2 plus. करेक्ट. तर प्राची काय करायचं आहे, त्याचा फोटो काढायचा आहे, आणि क्लासरूम वरती पोस्ट करायचा, म्हणजे मला कळन काय केलं असतं. बिकॉज दिस कॉम्प्लेक्स इज नॉट अ सिंपल कॉम्प्लेक्स. मुझे लगता है आप लोग बुक लेके बैठते हो और बुक मुझे आंसर देते हो, ऐसा ही मुझे लग रहा है. So don't do that. Try to understand the concept also. ठीक है, चलो. So I will tell. ठीक है, चलो. Let's see. NiCN4. Forget about this. This is not correct. Here 2 plus, copper 2 plus is there, and the compound is CuNH342 plus. ठीक है, ये लास्ट स्लाइड का ही आ गया है. चलो कोई बात नहीं, ओके चलो. So charge on the complex is +2. Atomic number of copper is 29. Electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d10. So this is now anomalous electronic configuration. Okay, 4s1 and 3d10. So this is due to what? This is to just fully fill the d orbital. Fully fill the d orbital. This anomalous behavior is there. 1 electron in s orbital and 10 electrons in d orbital. This is anomalous behavior. This we have discussed in SYBSC. Okay. Now copper 2 plus hai. Now in copper 2 plus what happens? 1 electrons will go from 4s orbital. In copper 2 plus what will happen? 1 electron will go from s or 4s orbital and 1 electron will go from 3d orbital. So 4h0, 3d9 will be there. So the coordination number of this complex is 4. Coordination number is 4. That means the metal should have 4 vacant orbital. है क्या? 1s and 3p orbitals. 4 vacant orbitals है. ठीक है, good. Then 4 coordination number है. So 4 into 2 total 8 electrons we have to fill. Now हम लोगों ने 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स यहाँ पे फिल करते हैं. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now what will happen? Yes, 1s and 3p orbital, it will show sp3 aberration. It will show sp3 aberration, but this is wrong. This is wrong because of what? Because this compound is square planar compound. Because this compound is square planar compound. Now what happens? In this case, these 1 electrons are excited into the last p orbital. This 1 electron is excited into last p orbital, and these orbitals now will be a vacant orbital. This orbital will now be the vacant orbital. Now we have 8 electrons. You can fill the 8 electrons here. 2 electrons here, 2 electrons here, 2 electrons in first p orbital and 2 electrons in second p orbital. Now in next case what happens? These 1d orbital, 1s orbital and 2p orbital, they undergo process and gives a dsp2 hybridization. Why dsp2? Because 1d, 1s and 2p orbitals are involved. Okay. Now due to this compound, due to this promotion of 1 electrons from 3d orbital to the 4p orbital, this compound shows dsp2 hybridization. But the excitation of 1 electron from d orbital to 4p orbital is not practically possible. Because of what? Because of 3d orbital is lower in energy, 4p orbital is higher in energy. Okay. And to go into higher energy orbital, energy is required, and nobody knows where from this energy comes. वो energy कहाँ से आ जाती है? Nobody knows. ठीक है. So due to this excitation of 1 electron from 3d to 4p orbital, which is not practically possible, and if you place these 1 unpaired electrons in d orbital, and if you fill the 8 electrons in this orbital, 1s orbital and 3p orbital, it will give a sp3 hybridization. It will give sp3 hybridization, but which is not the case. Because of what? Because the observed geometry of this complex is square planar geometry and not a tetrahedral geometry. So this is the major limitation of valence bond theory. Please remember this CuNS342 plus, this complex will not be explained by a valence bond theory. Okay, this is the limitations of valence bond theory. Valence bond theory does not explain the geometry and magnetic moment of this copper complex. ठीक है, तो क्या है एक बार फिर से देख लेते हैं हम. 1 pair unpaired electrons है, that means complex is paramagnetic. Experimental moment is 1.8, theoretical magnetic is 1.8. So here is paramagnetic is there. Please see this, paramagnetic is there. ठीक है, okay, चलो Now, what is important in this compound copper complex? There are some points which we have to remember. ये एग्जाम में हमेशा पूछा जाता है. So क्या है? The promotion of one electron from 3d orbital to 4p orbital is practically not possible. That I have told you, because this process, promotion of electron process, requires energy, and from where does this energy comes, nobody knows, or nobody can answer this question. So this is also important point. Then 4p orbital is higher energy. I have told you 4p orbital is higher in energy, and electrons from such orbital will easily get removed. ठीक है ना? 4p orbital is higher energy and electrons from such orbital will easily get removed, and oxidation of copper will take place, that is from copper 2 to copper 3. Oxidation of copper 2 to copper 3 will take place, but copper does not show 3 plus oxidation state. Copper only shows +1 and +2 as a stable oxidation state. +3 is not a stable oxidation state of the copper. Copper कभी भी +3 oxidation state नहीं show करता है. It will show either 1 +1 or +2. ठीक है? So that is also not possible. Then if we place third point, if we place the unpaired electrons in 3d orbital, it will suggest a sp3 evolution, जो कि मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला है. If we place the unpaired electrons in 3d orbital, it will suggest the sp3 evolution, that will suggest the tetrahedral geometry, which is contrary to the observation, because of observed geometry of this complex is square planar complex. Because of observed geometry of the complex is square planar complex. So this is the major limitations of valence bond theory. Valence bond theory also has some limitation that we will see at the end of the chapter, but remember this important point, that is promotion of electrons from 3d orbital to 4p orbital is not practically possible. 4p orbital is higher in energy and electrons from such orbital will easily get removed, and oxidation of copper will take place from copper 2 to copper 3, and copper will not show +3 oxidation state, because the stable oxidation state of copper is +1 and +2. And third point is, if we place the unpaired electrons in 3d orbitals, it will suggest sp3 aberration, and that is contrary to the observation, because observed geometry of this complex is square planar geometry, and the compound has one unpaired electrons. One unpaired electrons means complex is paramagnetic, and this observed and calculated geometry, observed and calculated magnetic moment of this complex matches very well, so that we can say the square planar, this compound shows a square planar geometry. ठीक है? But according to the valence bond theory, it is not possible. We have just shown just to satisfy our dsp2 hybridization. हम लोगों का dsp2 hybridization आने के लिए हम लोगों ने क्या किया है, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन d ऑर्बिटल से निकाल के उसको 4p में रख दिया है. But actually in chemistry we cannot do that. Actually in chemistry or in lab we cannot do that. Just to satisfy our hybridization concept, we have placed one electron from 3d orbital to the 4p orbital, because to give a dsp2 hybridization. But according to VBT, we cannot explain this complex. ठीक है? So this is the major limitations of valence bond theory. So I think we will stop here. Again here charge is +2. Please remember, charge is +2. Charge is +2. ठीक है? So with this I think we will stop here, and in the next lecture we will see the trigonal bipyramidal geometry. In next lecture we will see trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Octahedral geometry we will see. In octahedral complexes there are two types of hybridization, D2sp3 and sp3d2. What is the difference between these two types, that we will see in the next lecture. ठीक है? Now tell me if you have any doubt, difficulty, problem, you can ask me. I will be happy to answer your question. ठीक है? चलो. tomorrow we'll meet at 3:30. Tomorrow we'll meet at 3:30. No problem, no doubts. Chaitan is saying, Ankush is saying, okay sir. Okay, Krishna Priya is also saying, so shall I stop here now? Rohan is saying, okay sir. Sir, to know how many electrons we need to fill, we have to multiply coordination number by 2, right? Yes, correct. You have to multiply the coordination number by 2, because coordination number suggests the number of electrons present, coordination number suggests the number of ligand present in the complex. If the ligand is 4, that means each ligand have contributed 2 electrons, because to form a one bond 2 electrons are required. Because to form one bond 2 electrons are required. That means whatever the ligands are there, that ligand multiplied by 2, that much electrons we have to fill in the d orbital of the metal. ठीक है, अच्छा क्वेश्चन था ग्रीशा का. ये भी पता होना चाहिए कि यार कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बनने हैं एक्चुअली हम लोगों को. ठीक है ना. ओके, so I will stop here now. We will meet tomorrow at 2:30. Jay is saying no doubt sir. Jay is saying no doubt. Okay, chalo, bye bye, take care.